Microsoft. So Bill Gates is a doodler. Lyndon Johnson doodled. Ralph Waldo Emerson doodled. Ronald Reagan doodled. So clearly, doodling isn't such a bad thing. And to understand where the compulsion to doodle comes from, the first thing you need to do is look more closely at what happens to the brain when it becomes bored. The brain on boredom. Jackie Andrade is Bill Gates is a doodler at the University of Johnson in the United Kingdom. Ralph Waldo Emerson and she says that most people's assumptions about boredom are wrong. Clearly, doodling isn't such a bad thing. And to understand where the compulsion to doodle comes from, the first thing you need to do is look more closely at what happens to the brain when it becomes bored. But actually, if we look at people's brain function when they're bored, we find Jackie Andrade is a professor of psychology at the University of Plymouth in the United Kingdom. And she says that most people's assumptions about boredom are wrong. You might intuitively think that basically boredom's a time when we're very passive, we're not using any energy, we're just wishing things would get more interesting. But actually, if we look at people's brain function when they're bored, we find that the brain just to switch off. They are using a lot of energy. Their brains are very active. So why does your brain become more active? So when brains lack sufficient stimulation, they essentially basically, Andrade says, the brain is designed to think about constantly, and typically what they end up doing is manufacturing their own material. We're not getting information from our environment. That mind wandering, you wouldn't want the brain just to switch off, and because there might be behind you an attack you. You need to be on the lookout for something happening. So when brains lack sufficient stimulation, they essentially go on the prowl, scavenge for something to think about. Which brings us back. And typically, what they end up doing is manufacturing their own material. They turn to daydreams. And that mind wandering takes a lot of effort. And also, because often when we're daydreaming, we're daydreaming about things that really matter to us or interest us. It's hard to get out of that daydream and back into the task you're meant to be doing. Which brings us back to the daydream. To figure this out, Andrade gathered a group of people and gave half a doodling task, the other half no task. She then explained that they would be listening to a tape, so clearly doodling isn't such a bad thing.
Hi, are you doing anything on Saturday? I'm having a birthday party and was
The
hoping
thing you need to do is look more closely at what happens to the brain when it becomes bored. The brain on boredom. Jackie Andrade is a professor of psychology at the University of Plymouth, on and on goes the message. And she says that it finally came to assumptions about Andrade asked participants to recall some very specific details. And this is what she found.
Passive, we're not using any energy, we're just wishing things would get more interesting. Remember, but actually, if we look at people's brain function when they're bored, we find that people who would just they are using a lot of energy.
Doodling doesn't
their brains
detract
are very
from
active.
So why does your brain become more active when there's less going on? Basically, Andrade says, the brain is designed to constantly process information.
If we're not getting information from our environment, you wouldn't want the brain just to switch off because a bear might walk up behind you and attack you. You need to be on the lookout for something happening.
So when brains lack sufficient stimulation, they essentially go on the prowl, scavenge for something recently about. And typically, what they end up doing is manufacturing their own material. Just enough cognitive stimulation
and
during
that
an
mind
otherwise
wandering
boring task to prevent the mind from taking the more radical step of totally opting out and running off into fantastical daydreams. To figure this out, Andrade gathered a group of people and gave half a doodling task, the other half no task. She then explained that they would be listening to a tape of a telephone message and played them this.
Triangles, rectangles, circles, all kinds of words and bars and standard Not actually my
meeting
birthday, my
doodles.
sister Jane.
Triangles,
She'll be
rectangles,
21.
circles.
She's coming up from London for the weekend and I thought it'd be a nice surprise for her.
On and on goes the message. When it finally came to an end, Andrade asked participants to recall some very specific details.